Hello everybody, welcome back to Minecraft. I'm Dark Halo. This is Minecraft Create. Um, just a reminder everybody, we're playing on a mod pack that is in Forge right now. It's Mr. Beardstone's original Perfect World mod pack. So we're playing on that. And so shout out to Mr. Beardstone. He's an awesome creator, so I suggest you check him out if you want some more Create Minecraft content. But today, what I want to start with is we're up here in the barn, in the top of the barn, and we got this all this open space up here. And what I was thinking is there might be enough room here to put a melon and pumpkin farm. Small ones, probably one down each side. We'll do a melon melon down on one side and a pumpkin farm down the other. I want to automate it. I'm not entirely sure how to go about doing that, but I want to at least get the dirt in and get some of the stuff planted so that it can start growing, and then I can figure out the whole automation thing some other day here, or maybe later this episode, or I don't know, maybe as I'm doing it I'll figure it out. I don't know. Something. But that's what I want to start with first. I want to start getting some dirt up here and fill it in, and I might use some of that good soil we have, maybe that compost soil. Excuse me. So hopefully things will grow faster if we do that. So I'm gonna go get. Whoa. Oh yeah, I also got a diamond chest plate. I believe I did some more trading with the villagers, and I can never get in this stupid thing. And we got diamond last episode. We also, well, I'll change it back. We also, so we've got everything but a helmet. We got diamond chest plate. It's got thorns 2, unbreaking 3, protection 2. We got blast protection 2 on the legs, and we got feather falling 3 on the boots. And then I just have an unbreaking 1 helmet right now. So yeah, we got to work on getting that all taken care of. But I think, woo, there we go. Cobble farm is running. We're getting some cobble in there. Oh, it's not in here. I believe we kept the goods. Here we go. We got organic compost. I got extra dirt. I got rich soil as well. Maybe the organic compost is more for mushrooms? I don't know. Let's see here. Let's see if it says anything. It says how you can make it. Probably have a lot of that stuff, actually. Can mix it up. I'm not really sure what all it's good for. Except for we can try growing stuff off of it. I think I have enough dirt in my inventory. Well, maybe not. We'll grab an extra bit of dirt, shall we? And whoa, 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 whoa! What am I doing? Oh, I have a mending hoe. Yeah, I think I have a hoe on me. Anyway, oops. I'll grab pumpkin seeds that we have, and I think I have some watermelon upstairs that we can use to get our melon seeds. And we found a bunch of watermelons in the jungle area. Not last episode, I think the episode before. We only have 2 melon slices? That's not right. Oh, I'll say there's 64. Well, we will make some melon seeds. Alright, so I'm gonna go and create the farm, and then we'll see where we go from there. I'll just gonna do that many for now. Okay. Alright, so I'm gonna go out there, and then I will be back once we get the stuff going. Maybe I'll think on automation at some point. There we go. We'll see. So, alright, let me get cooking. I'll be right back. So, I thought we would start putting down some dirt here and making this farm. So for this, I'm trying something new. I'm trying to record footage and then do the whole voice overlay thing that everybody seems to do. I don't have any script though or anything, so we're just gonna kind of wing it and see how this goes. First time I'm doing it. So if this style works and everybody likes it, then we'll try it. So here I'm putting down the dirt up in the barn. I thought I'd do the rich soil and then also try that compost. I will find out later, the compost doesn't really work for this. It won't till, so we can't put the watermelon or pumpkin on it. We put some dirt down, getting ready for planting. I'm gonna do 2 rows of each. I think they're about 8, maybe 7 long here. I'm trying to line them up with each other just to keep them even. I'm putting them one off the wall because I wanted to try to automate it with a gantry system. So that's why I have it based off the wall like I do and only have 4 in there. Well, 4 makes sense anyway with the way they grow. So yeah, I'm gonna put the dirt down here and then we're gonna move on to planting and tilling up everything here. So yeah, if you think this type of method works, let me know, and if you like it better, then I can try and do it more often. As you can see here, I figured out that I can't till it, so we dug it up, and I try and go through a couple iterations with it, trying to see how to make it work, but obviously I wind up tearing it out. So, and then I just wind up replacing it with regular dirt so that I can hoe it up and we can plant some melons and some pumpkins. So yeah, if this works out for everybody, let me know and I can work on it. It does take a little longer for editing, so I'm leaning maybe not doing it and just do my normal voiceovers while I'm playing, but we'll see how this goes. So, alright, here I start tilling up some stuff. You know, normal farming things. And then I've got 2 rows. Obviously, I'm not tilling 1 row staggered because the way they grow, they'll grow over top of it. I mean, everybody knows how melons and pumpkins grow in Minecraft. Hopefully, I can get them growing just on the adjacent ones I want them to grow on. After I was watching this back, I was thinking, oh, I should have probably done it differently and either ran them in both on the outside edges and had them both grow in the middle. It would have made more sense. I still may go back and change that. I'll think about it. We'll see. Here I don't have enough pumpkin seeds to fill in stuff, so I won't have 2 full rows just yet. Later on I'll have to come back and finish planting after I grow some. But right now we're just gonna get what we can planted, and then also I think my hoe broke there, so I also have to make another hoe at some point. But I went and grabbed some bone meal that we had in our little seed chest, where we were making bone meal from all the seeds and stuff we got on our farm, and I started bone mealing up some of these stalks. As you can see, it's hard to get the little nib where I got to get that cursor on to get it to go, but we started bone mealing them up so I can get some of the stalks to grow, so that I can start getting some stuff to produce, so that way I can get more seeds. And you can see I bone mealed that one a little bit too much, but we're gonna keep going and get what we can. That one popped up on me too, so. But I got some slices out of it, and I can turn those into some seeds, and then I can finish hoeing and planting them. So start filling out this garden area, and that way we can start getting stuff put together for trades. So we can trade with that farmer that took those melon and pumpkin trades. So here we're just going to finish getting the rest of the farm matured, I should say, so it can start producing right away and don't have to wait for it to grow the stalks and then pop out melons and such. So as you can see, it's generally working the way I intended. It's growing into the empty spaces that I had left there for it, so that does seem to work out well. I do have a little issue at the end of the watermelon farm where it wanted to grow the other way, but I did fix that later, and then I think it fixed itself once the other one grew in, so it will eventually work itself out. Then I have to work on getting the automation portion put together. But as you can see, I still ran out of pumpkin seeds, so I got to get some pumpkins growing or get some more seeds to finish off planting. I think, if I remember right, I think I've had some pumpkins that I'd already picked, stashed away for later that I want to breaking out for seeds. So here I wanted to try and work on the create part of the gantry system. I had never worked with it before, so I wanted to figure out how to do it. So I just kind of put down some stuff right here, right off our water wheel, so I can get some power to it easily and just try it out, work on some gearing and figure out how to make all this work. So you can see I put a line of gantry and I put the little carrier on top that I made, and now I'm trying to put some gearing on there. I'm trying to figure out how this all works. So you can see I figure out how to get its power to it, and it goes all the way down, and then it just stops there. So I gotta try and figure out how to make it come back and go back and forth within a time period or by some other means. I did have a lot of thinking and looking into how all the gantry stuff works, and then I found the sequence gear shift deal that we need to make for it, and so I found, oh, okay, I need to make those tubes, and I need rose quartz to make. And since we got quartz from the nether, I decided to pop in making some rose quartz here. And we did make some sandpaper previously, which I have in a chest, my little create chest down there. So we decided to make up the rose quartz, and then we'll grab some sandpaper. Oh yeah, just threw that on the ground. Look at that. Just tossing stuff anywhere. Yep, it just goes anywhere. So you can see I got some sandpaper there. So I threw that in my offhand, and I threw rose quartz down on my bar, and then we sanded up and polished up some quartz, and we got our little achievement, pink diamond and polished rose quartz quest complete. So we polished up a bunch of rose quartz. So we can make those little electron tubes that we need to make. We need those for two things. We need them for that sequence gear shift, and we also are going to need them, I believe, for the bronze chutes. So I make a couple of them just so I have them for later. I had to make some bronze casings, which I hadn't made before. I had some bronze ones that we used before, but I think I got those as a quest reward. I didn't make them. So now that I made the sequence gear shift, I figured out how that thing works back and forth, and how to make that work with some redstone contacts. So then I brought the whole apparatus up here to start building and setting up how we're going to make it work. So I offset everything a space. I made some extra harvesters, and I put those in. I figured they'll harvest the pumpkins or the watermelons. We'll start on the watermelon side. So I just building a little deal there. As you see, I got those redstone contacts, and what they do is when they meet up, they send a signal out every time they meet, and then when they come apart, a signal goes away, and then they come back and they send the signal out again. And I'm going to use that to signal the gear shift to turn on and off and to operate through cycle. So I put that there, and then I realized, hey, I can't have that going through the through the plants. So I
want it moving it to the back side, just so it doesn't disrupt the plants. Yeah, flip her around. There you go. There you go. Good job. So we put the carrier on here. Eventually I'll shorten that gantry up because I realize it's too long where I have things placed. It's got too many extra gantries there, but that's not a big issue. Yep, here we go. Yep, there we go. There it finally hit me. Yep. So that's kind of the basis of the apparatus, what I want it to look like there. And then that should carry through and harvest things. So you gotta have I eventually take the gear off. I realize I need to have my sequence gear shift on there, not the gear on there. And I threw a barrel on there. It'll be for storage of the watermelons as it goes through. I figure I'll probably be pulling them out fairly quickly, so I probably don't need a ton of storage for trading. So, yep, here I realize gotta change that out. Put sequence gear shift on there. I can put the gear on the back end to help drive some power. And that's kind of where my next dilemma winds up coming in, is I gotta get power up there. So I put one of those redstone links on there, and I'm setting up the piston run to go down, and then once it hits a certain distance, it should come back. So I've put the same distance in there and have it come back and end, and then once the contacts make back up, it'll go through this redstone clock that I'm making here with another delay pulse repeater in there, and then another one into another the little redstone receivers, or yeah, so they link up, the redstone links, so that they link up, and then it'll send a signal. I put a little bit of delay in there. I'm just putting a small one in there trying to get it to work, and then I'll probably make it longer in between intervals. But once the contacts meet back up, it'll send a signal into there, it'll delay a bit, and then it'll trigger into that, which will send a link back over here, and then it'll turn that back on, and then it'll run its cycle again. So that I'm going to do this on both sides to harvest these. But I was having some issues getting it to trigger, and obviously this goes, oh yeah, I gotta set it to receive mode, and then I accidentally flipped it around, and then I gotta keep flipping it around again, and sometimes it wants to work, sometimes it don't. So there, it finally gets there, and and then I accidentally flipped that around too. I'm having a heck of a time with the wrench, but once I flip that, it receives a signal. So that's working. The only issue is I have no power there. So I gotta figure out how to power the thing. So I gotta come back, and then this is how I want it, so I'm gonna glue it all together. And as far as power goes, I was trying to pull stuff off the bamboo farm, but it wasn't enough power running in. Then I tried setting up just like a large scale windmill right above this, right on the roof of the barn. It just wasn't enough power. The carriage would only go down a few blocks, and then it would just stop. It didn't have enough power to go all the way down and come back. So I realized that when I was doing my tests that it needs a lot of power to actually run through the full cycle. So I got to figure out how to get power up here to this location. So that's kind of where I wind up stopping with all this. Once I get it all glued up, that's kind of where I get stuck. I gotta figure out some power method. Now I'm thinking possibly making its own little power plant next to the barn that I supply power to both these machines. But as I was working overnight, I ran across a skeleton, and I killed him, and I wound up getting a power 2 bow that he dropped. So I was going to combine them together with my bow, and then so I can get a power 3 bow. But I do not have the levels to do so. I was a little short. So with that, I was like, hey, let's go to the mob farm and get some levels. But then I was like, well, we went to the nether, and we got some soul sand. So I was like, well, let's modify the mob farm. So I went off a little tangent, and we're going to go off and do a little of the mob farm modifications. And so here I'm just grabbing some kelp, grabbing some soul sand, And we're going to go over there and see if we can't make it better. So, yep, as we go to the mob farm. I think I want to make something that goes over there like a minecart track or something, just to kind of take on a ride over there. It might be a little more fun that way. So, alright, so we'll start by, obviously, breaking in here and making sure there's nothing there, which there wasn't, because I usually have to be up top for it to spawn stuff. So I break in here and I fly up here and I throw a torch on the spawner just to make sure nothing's going on, because as I'm going up and down it'll spawn stuff. So one torch will keep it from spawning so I can do my work. So now we'll go through and we'll start I guess demolishing everything here. Break the hoppers. I emptied the chests, whatever was in the chests, into my backpack I had on me and my inventory, and then we went up top to try and figure out to line everything up, see where things are at, and start making our tube. So the idea is to make a water elevator with the soul sand at the bottom where they come in, and they'll float up a certain number of blocks, and then they'll come up and then they'll push each other over and drop down, and then they'll take some fall damage. So it will take less for me to kill them and collect the drops. So we put the chest there. I tried to guesstimate how high up I was. It was kind of hard to count the blocks going up, but I think I only went up maybe 18 or 17 blocks. As you can see, it's really dark in here. Mining up, I didn't have any torches, however I was just going up. I had the jetpack on and I was just mining up, and I wasn't sure how far I went, so at some point I was like, okay, this seems to be enough, hopefully. So I stopped and I started mining into the wall so I can get a place to stand. Yeah, and I went down to try and count, and I'm like, oh, how many is it? I started trying to count from the bottom up, but as I go fly up, I fly up too fast, and I couldn't keep an accurate count. So this is me trying to count them, and I'm like, oh, I gave up. So I went to the top, and I just mined into the wall, and I should have went up a couple more blocks, but c'est la vie. I was a little short. So later on, you'll see when they fall, they still have about 2.5, 3 hearts left, which is not a big deal. With the sword I have, it's still one hit kill. But, you know, it is what it is. And I didn't want to dig up anymore, so I came back down and threw the hoppers on the chests that I had down there, and I kind of built out the wall. I'm going to kind of move this stuff around later, but for the time being, I'm throwing in some slabs and stuff just to keep things from coming in at me. Now I'm trying to build the wall back up at the bottom, being pushed ever so slightly towards the front all the time. So I'm trying to line everything up. As I got to the top chamber here through where I'm going to be actually the kill chamber, I guess, and I went back a little bit, and I think the wall is just on the other side of this. So I dug down a little just to try and figure out where I was. So it's only going to be like one block in between everything. So, yep, there it is. Broke through, found it. Now I have to try and do the arduous task of now mining out the rest of the other side, as well as you'll see here in a second, I'll start building the walls up and down the side here to make the tube channel that they'll go up and down. So there is where I'll place the soul sand, and that'll be where they'll stop, and then we'll put kelp in there at some point here to make all those water blocks that I want to putting in there, source blocks, so that way the elevator will work. So here I'll start building up the walls around the outside and start making that tube, cobblestone tube. I'm not too picky on the block choices for inside of this thing. I really did not care. I just wanted to get it done, and it could be whatever block it is. I do not care what block it would be. I'm not going for style points inside of the spawner. So it's rough, but it works. So can't complain, right? So it's mostly just going to be cobble. And I blocked that up prematurely. I need to get back in and out of there a couple more times, as you'll see in a bit. So, but I blocked it up anyway. And then I realized, hey, I can't see anything. So eventually I put a torch down in here too, because I'm tired of not being able to see. The one torch that's in there is just not enough. Now, I didn't have anything issues with them spawning. I just couldn't see what I was doing very well down there working. So I wound up throwing a torch in there at some point. So, as you see, I only have one opening, but I do open it up to two. I do keep it a 2x tube, just for more pathway, I suppose, for them to pass through. I don't know that it necessarily needs to be a 2x. It could probably be a 1x, but just the way I had it before was a 2x, so I just went with it. Just kept with the spacing that I had. So, and it works better with the chest anyway, because it's double chest. So. That's what we decided to do. So, or well, I decided to do, I should say. So yep, I'm just gonna build out the wall here and start putting in, enclosing it, and then I realize I don't need to waste all the blocks on the corners. So then I'll start mining those out after I already placed them. Like, that was stupid. And then my jetpack runs out of juice. So. Then I wind up refilling it and coming back in, and continue on breaking the corners out and doing what I was doing. Obviously, I cut a bunch out of this of the mundane things like filling my jetpack and stuff like that. So I'm trying to keep the meat of the meat of the builds on here and go over that stuff. And trying to cut out a lot of the excess stuff that you want to do for resource collecting and organizing and all that other stuff, and just simply trying to figure out how this thing works. I got a little stuck. I kind of had most of it. I had one little detail I was missing, but I did eventually get it at the end. So I wanted to show the complete. More correct way to do it, I suppose. I mean, there's probably multiple ways you could do this. But this is the way I did it. So, and like I said, it's quick, dirty, and I didn't really care. I just wanted them to float up, and that way I could stand up in the chamber where I have to be to make them to spawn out of the spawner, and then also kill them in the same spot so that I keep the flow coming. Because I could stand up one area and then have to go down and kill them, and then I'd have to go back up to spawn more. So this way I can just stand in the same area that I kill them and spawn them. So made sense. So I went back up top and started flowing the water down. I will eventually put it off the back wall. I'm not sure what I'm doing here with the blocks. I don't know what I was thinking. Oh yeah, I blocked it back up, but I dug out. Yeah, I think I leave it that way. I don't need that extra space. But I put signs, which obviously I don't need the signs up top either. I wound up taking those down as well and moving them. But I needed signs at the bottom to keep the water from flowing down into the kill chamber. So I pour water down the one side, and then I'll pour down water down the other side of the chute just to get it flowing. So we can go down and start planting our kelp to make them source blocks and to get the elevator working. So here you can see I planted up some kelp, and see this is where I was screwing up. Water kept coming out the front once they become source blocks, and I do fix it eventually. But you can see here I'm planting kelp up the water column to transform all those blocks into source blocks so that the elevator works properly, and I started drowning. So then I got back up top to get some air. Eventually I do put a torch up there and I leave it up there because I realized it was dark. But I also realized that it being light up there didn't matter. So I leave a torch up there just for maintenance purposes, I guess, if I ever have to get back up in there. Which hopefully I don't. I shouldn't. But you never know. So once I finish here putting all the kelp up the water column, and stop getting stuck in the bubbles, I realize that everything's good to go, so I swim down, get out, and then we break them. And everything floats up to the top, so I'm like, yay, it works. So then I'm up here, I realize I don't want water. I'll take away the flowing water, right? So the only thing that stays now is the permanent water for the all the water sources there in the elevator. And then I throw water off the back wall to flow them, just like that, into the kill chamber. So once they come up, that water will push them over the edge. So, and here this is how we fix the issue with the water flowing out. I had to build some bricks out, one away from the opening, and then place some signs there to keep the water from flowing out. Because what was happening is it would push the zombies away from the water elevator instead of them flowing into it. So this way, the water will all flow to that point. There will be an empty block where water is not pushing them into the elevator. However, you get enough of them in there, and they push each other into there, and they go up. So it works. Here, I was trying to remember how to make a sign because I don't really make signs a whole lot in any of my playing. It's not really something I use a lot of, which I probably should start doing. I probably will use them more, maybe more item frames than signs when I start making chests. But yeah, I don't make a lot of signs, so I don't remember how to use them, how to make them, which I figured out there. So made a couple extra signs, finished up the front end here, and made sure we're all good, and the water still flows in. So yeah, they'll flow down there. There will be a block there where there's no water, but it'll still work. And so I'm like, okay, job well done. I take the torch off. They start spawning. I hurry, get underneath, and run out my little doorway, not thinking that, hey, idiot, you left a torch in there. Yeah, that torch for that light that I wanted so I could see. And then I was also, you know, the smart one who left the opening open so they could pour out. See that one guy though? He had that torch. He had the torch in my torch in his hand. So I put a block up so they can't come out. And I closed the door and I wanted to see how things were going, you know. And I was trying to block it up and so I could attack them. And later you'll see I don't really like this setup. It's not that ergonomic and it's not the best setup. So I get the kelp back out and it works. Does it work well? No, not really. And then that's when your idiot friend here realizes in free cam that, oh, I left a torch there. Also, they were having issues. They were kind of getting stuck. They were kind of getting wedged in there and they weren't getting pushed up the elevator very well. So I had to fix that problem as well. See, they're kind of getting wedged in there and they're not getting shoved up in there. Free cam is good for this kind of stuff. Just to kind of check on your stuff and make sure things are working. Oh, there's a chicken there. Somehow there's just a chicken. There's nobody riding him. I don't know. Maybe he got knocked off him. It's kind of weird. It's just a chicken. So it was working. I was getting mobs, but not like it should be. So gotta go down and we gotta fix it. So yeah, we'll go down here. And I'll throw a sign up here just to keep the water from flowing back on me when I open this up, since all those source blocks are in there. So I'm going to try and do it up top where I think that's where the brick is that had the torch on it. Plus, it's the top block I need to break to fix them from wedging in there as well. So you see I break that one off, the torch goes down. So that fixes the light problem. Then I threw some slabs on here instead of full blocks. So that way it should help alleviate the binding issue that I was having there. And they should be able to slip right underneath there since it's half a block off. And now you can see what it looks like. Obviously, there's a gap on the sides that if I was in there, I would throw something on there and clean it up. But I didn't feel like going back in there. So, I left it. So, it's not going to hurt anything. And they slip right under. And then they mob up, they bind up in there, and they push each other in. And they wind up going up. So, there it goes. Just, it's like the vacuum tubes of old. So yep, mission accomplished. So I throw the block back in there, break the sign down, fill in the second layer of cobble back in here, and yes, I do replace that cobble. I go up here and I collect out of the chest the missing piece. Obviously, you see that's kind of hard to get into that chest as well. So. But yeah, eventually I think a zombie picked it up. I do get it back, and I do fill that in there. So yeah, I don't really like the way this set up, so I decided I want to put slabs on top of the hoppers, just to kind of get it up a level, just so it was easier. I didn't have to crouch down all the time and to attack them. So I'm going to open that up. I'm trying to clear it off here, and they just keep coming. So obviously I fixed the issue, right? Because they keep coming. So I'm trying to get it so I can get in there fast enough and drop the slab on there. So then I open this up so I can get right at their feet, and I don't have risk of them attacking me or the little guys getting through. So I can be standing full up, and I can get in there, and I can get the experience, and I can get the chest a lot easier. So this works a lot better. So this is the way I want up leaving it. Obviously, like I said before, see they're about 3.5 hearts when they get dropped. But so I finally have enough to get that bow put together. Cost 16 levels. No, 12. Yeah, 12 levels. But right now yeah, why do I keep going? Just go for the 12. There you go. I don't know what I was thinking. But there you go. Yep. And then I also got a golden helmet out of there. It had protection 2. So I took my another helmet that had protection 2 on it as well. And I grabbed that. And so now I got a proc 3 helmet. I'm breaking 2 that I can use in the nether. So that worked out really well. And we'll throw this helmet back in our nether bag, which I did change out for a copper backpack. I got another copper backpack from a zombie, so I changed all that stuff over to that, so that we have a bigger backpack for the nether. And I didn't have to upgrade it. So eventually we can, if we want to. So yeah, I was just putting stuff away from our build. That's all done now. So now with our mob farm all up and running, I started to clean up the chest a little bit. As you saw in that last picture, I got all this leather chainmail and leather items in the chest, so I took it down and I threw it in my little incinerator here, just to get rid of it. I was thinking I probably could like throw it in my grinder and maybe it'd give me stuff, but I didn't really care to mess with it. It was just, well, see, I got all this extra, all these extra bits of. Now the gold and the iron chainmail I can smelt down for nuggets, but the leather I'm just tossing in an incinerator. I don't really care. Don't need it. It's not even enchanted. You can't trade anything for it, so I probably could have got some string or maybe some stuff out of it. I don't really know. But then I was like, oh, maybe I'll go throw it in my grinder, and I'm like, I realize I can't do it because I have it all hoppered. And that's when I looked at it, and then I realized that I was backed up on everything. Like, all the cobble was full and everything. But instead of dealing with that, after I burned up all the leather, I decided to go over here and do some trading with the villagers. I went and collected all the pumpkins and watermelons we had, made the watermelons, collected them all together, and I grabbed all the potatoes and onions that I had, and I went back over to the village, and we continued doing some trading. Try and level up these villagers and get them up to max and see what we get. So you can see I'm running through the trades on the farmer we have inside of our little dirt trading hut. I guess we'll call it that. And Antoine here I've been trading some onions with him, and he decided to level up finally. So then we can get him on to the next stage and see what he's gonna give us. And I was just putting away some of the carrots and the stuff that we were trading with him. And then see what he has now that he regened. And look, we got pumpkin pie, we got some cookies, and then I got suspicious stews. Ooh. I think those suspicious stews I do not try yet, but I thought I'd go the way of getting some pumpkin pies to help level them up instead. And I think I grabbed some cookies too. Oh, I sell them some onions. Yeah, sell them some onions, and then I also grab some cookies. So you can see I got 51 emeralds. That doesn't last long, but so we grabbed some cookies. Got 18 cookies, and we completed a cookie quest, and we leveled him up. And then we'll see what his final trades are. I think they're his final trades. I think it's the next step. So I threw the onions, and I threw some pumpkin pies in the backpack. Thinking back on it, I forgot those were there, so I'll have to pull those out. But look, we got some golden carrots and glistening melons. So we can go here and get some golden carrot trades and some melon trades if we want. So he's maxed out. We go to the armorer. He's maxed out at master level. This guy we got to get leveled up. So I'm trying to figure out here what I want to do. I want to buy shovels. Do we want to buy axes? I have no diamonds to give him, so obviously the other pickaxes take forever. So I decided to go with some shovel trades. Buying a bunch of iron shovels. I thought maybe I can combine some down, and maybe I can get a more efficient iron shovel, even though it's just an iron shovel. But I did want to buy another axe because I figure I can merge the two axes together and get a better diamond axe out of it. So, but obviously ran out of emeralds. So we gotta figure out, and plus the shovel trades ran dry. So now I gotta try and figure out more emeralds. But I'll eat a cookie. Can never turn down a cookie. The problem with the cookies, they have like no nutritional value, so they hardly give me anything. So they're not the best things to eat in this mod where I need nutritional value helps and stuff, but it works. So I need more emeralds, right? So I thought I'd go back to the other farmer and see what he offered, and see if we could get some of the carrot and wheat trades going, and maybe we can get him leveled up too, and see if we can get him up to master level and what he'll give us. Hydrate time. So yeah, as you can see, we did our normal trading thing. Had our little trading backpack. I don't know if I can label backpacks. I couldn't figure out a way to change the name on them. I want to like name them. I don't know if I can name tag them. I haven't looked into that yet, but I probably should, because I want to name them. I like having a trading backpack, which I should probably make bigger as well. I think I have another at least copper backpack. I should just change it out for, or no, it is a copper backpack. Yeah, maybe I should just upgrade it to a gold or something, so I have more things in here for trading. But so yeah, with Tracy here, I was getting her leveled up. Obviously, trading away the wheat and everything,
trying to get more emeralds because I need them. I got all those swordsmiths that I gotta try and get updated. That one's a nightmare. I always go to the bell trades, but she updated, and look, she gives us cake. So we bought a couple cakes, and we bought some suspicious stew from her just to get her leveled up. And yes, you will see here in a minute, I do eat the suspicious stew. I think I buy 2. Yeah, buy 2. 3, for that matter. Huh. You know, the good thing, though, with that stew, even though, as you'll see, every one I eat gave me weakness for like 3 seconds or something. It was hardly anything. Yeah. But it did, like, give me super nutrition. I, like, didn't get hungry for a long time, so yeah, it was nice when we went and slept. She leveled up, and she gave me more carrots and melons, glistening melons. So now I got some more emeralds back. Went back to here, and I was gonna try and work on some more trades with these guys. I realized he's mastered up, so I think I was trying to get more, looking at trying to get more emeralds maybe, but I wanted to get him finished getting Joseph here leveled up, so now that I'm armed with 47 emeralds, I was trying to figure out what the best course of action would be to finish the level, and I decided to keep buying iron shovels because I didn't really care about them. And I can combine them down. And boom, here we go. Got him to master level. So, and what, pray tell, does he offer at master level? Well, he offers a pickaxe, efficiency 2 diamond pickaxe. So we of course buy that right away. And now we have an efficiency 2 diamond pickaxe. And if we get another one, we can get efficiency 3. So obviously it needs a bunch more enchantments on it, but it is our first diamond pickaxe without mining a single diamond. So I don't think it's too bad. So we went back to base, and then I realized I need to deal with this cobble issue. All the gravel was filled up in the chest inside, and everything was backed up. So I decided to go with our idea that we had originally with running conveyor belt, and this turtle wanted to help me, and I wanted him to stay out of the way and not fall in this hole I was about to make. He does wind up eventually walking away, but we yeah, and another one joined. Like, it was like all the rage. It was like, hey, there's a party going here. Let's watch what this guy's doing. So anyway, I decided what I was wanted to do is I want to run that belt from there over to the washer and have it dump out all the gravel as it goes, automatically wash it, pump it into the chest at the end of the washer. Now that we can make brass funnels, we can make all this happen. So I decided now's the time to start dealing with it. You know, let's just ignore the power problem we have on our auto melon farms, and we'll just deal with this issue right now. As you can see, another detour. What we started doing here is I started putting a shaft in here, and obviously I realized later that it's too short, and I do have to extend it, but I do extend it later. And of course it's after it's all done, but I do extend it later. So yeah, I just dug a trench right from under the house, right next to the chest that I'm keeping all the gravel in, and inventory is an issue. I made some brass funnels, and obviously I got a click happy, and I accidentally put them on both sides of the chest, but that one flipped it through, and boop, there it is. And I need that filter, so that's the filter we had set up episode or two ago, a while ago. We set up that filter, right, that allows only nuggets and flint in, so, and not turtles. I don't know why the turtles were all over me trying to set this thing up. Making sure it's on approve, not deny, and making sure it's all good. And then I'll go and I'll throw this on our funnel so that nothing will go through unless it is iron nugget and flint. So we got that on. We got the brass
changed to send it into the chest. So now I gotta dig down and try and figure out how to get power to this thing. So what I did is I dug down and I tunneled all the way over to where the power was coming into our house here, the main power route, which isn't that far away. And that's what we figured we were going to do anyway. I believe I had a gearbox up in that chest, so I took that out and I tried wedging this thing in there. And then I was having a heck of a time getting it to turn around because I needed an output on this side. After doing that for a couple times, I realized, hey, idiot, it's the wrong gearbox. You need the different kind. So, yeah, it won't flip. I don't know why. So yeah, I realized I need not a vertical gearbox, I need a regular one. So I throw it in my crafting table that's in my backpack, and we got a regular gearbox, and then we're business. So we throw that on there, we got the shaft coming out, shaft running the other way, so we're good to go. Right, so we start building out some shafts. As you can see, I tried putting some chain drive on there. That doesn't really work out. It starts, the belts go the wrong way. I'm like, oh, belts go the wrong way. Okay, gotta fix that. So we take the shaft out. There you go. And then we go about trying to fix this issue. Well, after I backfilled in with dirt, because obviously I don't need all that space. I just needed it to get down under there. So I backfill all this in with dirt, and then we continue forth with trying to get power here. I tried numerous different things. Still trying to wrap my head around the way some of these gears and these gearboxes and stuff operate, and rotationally as they're coming out of things. However, I figured I need another gearbox, which ultimately I don't think I really did, but I put one in anyway because I thought maybe it would invert the power, and it just passes straight through, and they start to keep going another way. So so that didn't really work completely, because as you can see it's going into that, and I need it to go the other way. So what I decided to do here is, yeah, I got some cogs, and well, that didn't work, but I do change this. So I threw a cog in there because I was thinking I would run it off to the side, and then so I put a shaft in like next to that one, and I tried to run it off that, but obviously I was having issues with that getting work because it's inverse to inverse, and it just didn't work. So I took out the chain drives. I don't use the chain drives in the final design here. Yeah, as you can see, I'll throw a shaft in there even though it didn't really need to go in there. I think I don't even use it eventually. I just take it out of there. Yeah, I wanted to see if that would work, and it doesn't, obviously. I don't know what I was thinking. But, you know, I was trying to go through some different methods on how to get this thing to work, and I wasn't wrapping my head around the way things were moving. I think eventually it does wind up clicking, and we get it to work a little bit better. So that gear didn't really help me. So yep, so we get the gearboxes out again. I throw the gearbox back down there. We use the gearbox there. Yeah, it doesn't really matter which way. I was just trying to see if it would turn differently if I rotated it. Obviously it doesn't. It's a straight pass through. But I changed the gearbox over, so I flipped it around again. It didn't really matter. It was a straight pass through. So I threw a gear down there off of that, and I tried another one on the side, but then I realized, oh, if I just put it on the top, then it goes the right way. It was actually really easy. I didn't even need the gearbox, but you know, it works, and I left it. So I throw some dirt down, and cover up all the holes, and you don't even know anything's there. It's just the belt running out of there. So, but I think what I wound up doing is I cover over the hole. So I throw our angled blocks back up there that we were playing with, and I left the hole open for now. And this is where I think this is where I realized, hey, you need to go one more. So I break that block, and we do break the conveyor down, and I wound up moving it over one more so that way it actually conveys right in front of the washer and in front of that funnel, and then it'll actually work, because the way it was running one block short and it wasn't going anywhere. So we flip that around, and we throw the belt on here. Boom. There we go. Piece of cake. And then, yeah, I take that shaft out. I realize I didn't... Well, I broke everything, but I restring it. For some reason, it breaks all of it. I can't just take the one shaft out of there. I guess it's part of it once you put it in. So yep, we did that, and then I just kind of enclosed things a little bit better around the washer. That way I don't have nothing falling in there or anything like that. And then I believe this is, mechanism-wise, is complete. I do fill the hole back in, so it's not there. I was going to use some casings if it was showing, but it covers it up pretty well. And then here, I threw an andesite funnel on there. Eventually later, I do change that back out for brass, because the brass ones you can set quantities and stuff. So here I was looking up, after I had that finished, I was looking up making a cart assembler. So I was thinking about making a drill or something. So I made a cart assembler so I can make some contraptions. And then I made a bunch of other bits and bobs for stuff like that. And I believe I saw a shiny again, and I went back over to the village to do some more trading. And then I also wanted to check out the bounty boards again at some point here. I also had a lot of rotten flesh I was collecting, so I also wanted to hunt down that cleric, because I wanted to start trading with him and get him leveled up as well. But on this stint, I wanted to get my librarian. So I had a lectern. Boom. Put it down in here. There was two guys already inside of this pen that I figured aren't going anywhere. So I threw a lectern down and see if they'd grab a job. That one did. Didn't really turn out. Plopped it down again. The other one grabbed the job. And that one, Cheryl, right off the bat, mending. Now, 16 emeralds is a little expensive, maybe. But for one roll mending, I'm going to take it. So, but I was 1 emerald shy. So and I had tons of books, so I did a quick little trade here with, yeah, pig in the way. I did a quick little trade with Tracy here, just to get my 1 emerald that I was missing. I actually got a couple out of it, but then, boom, locked in good old Cheryl with our mending trade. So now we have a mending trade. 16 emeralds. Yeah, maybe you can get it cheaper, but then I could have been sitting there for like hours trying to roll that. So with that mending book, I grabbed it and I went back home and I threw it on my jetpack. That way it doesn't break. So was it the smartest thing to do? Maybe not, because there's better jetpacks to make. But for now, until I can make the synchronous mechanism, something like that, until I get my workshop made and I get all that set up, we're gonna rewrite it with this jetpack. So, and we have a villager locked in with mending, so we'll just go back and buy more mending books. So here, yeah, after that, I went back to the village and I found that cleric that I was talking about before, and I started trading him up with all this rotten flesh that I had. We have a zombie farm, so might as well use it, right? So we trade him up and get him leveled. I'm not sure how far we get him here. I kind of have to do 2 different sessions because I have to come back with more rotten flesh, I believe. Plus it starts getting night. So I kind of let him go. Or her? What was that, Yvette? Maybe it's a her. Yeah. Yeah, Yvette. She's kind of running past her little house there, but the next set of trades was emeralds for lapis and gold for emeralds, which I don't have a huge lot of positive gold right now. So a gold trade does not help me. Maybe at some point, if I can start producing gold, and getting a positive gold trade, that might help me out. I was more just seeing what the apprentice would give me, or the cleric would give me as a reward. But in between then, like I said, I went down to the bounty boards down there, and then I saw that one had some flame books for bounties. So I think I picked up both those bounty, or at least one. Where's one with fletching tables? Not the tripwire hooks. There's ones with fletching tables. Yeah, and I picked up that one, and I think I went up doing another one. I get 2 flame books. So I picked that one up, and then there's another one where I needed some gravel. Yeah, target blocks and gravel, but I need some fletching tables for the first one. So I had some flint, obviously, because I was trading it, and I still had a bunch. So I just went up to the nearest tree and chopped her down to get some wood. Those guys, there's a bunch of those villagers that protect the village. They're down in that hole. They keep falling down in there. I don't know how to help them get back out of there, but it is what it is. You know, they live down there now, on the cliff, ever ending, trying to get back into the village. But so yeah, I chopped this oak tree down to get wood to make more fletching tables. I think I had to make 4 or so. I mean, I didn't replant this tree either. I didn't really care. It had a lot of wood on it, though. I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't terrible. But yeah, I like that archery bounty board that's down there. It has some good stuff, and of course, bow is one of the things that's harder to get some of the enchantments for. So I kind of like that one, and it seems like I can do a lot of those. They're better rewards, better than some of the other ones. I mean, they give you enchanted books. The other ones give you a bunch of garbage sometimes. So I gotta check that. I gotta be more diligent on checking those bounty boards though in the future and seeing what they give. There's a bunch of them all over the village. I need to branch out and go find another village, to tell you the truth. So I think an adventure might be in store here soon to go explore around and see if we can find another village, because I have yet to spot another one yet. So yeah, we make up the fletching tables we need, and then we go turn the bounty back in and get one of the flame books. Yep, I throw that back in the backpack. I had used up all the logs, so I had to make some more. So yep, we turn this one in. Oh yeah, I forgot how to do it. Yeah, you gotta do it on the outside, and you can. There you go. Good job, me. There we go. Got our first flame book. And then we went, I ate the apple they gave me. But then we went back in, and they had another flame book in there.
Yeah, there it is. I think it's the bottom one. For any log, which I just got a bunch of oak logs, and 29 gravel. Well, I've got a gravel making machine back home. So I was like, yeah, piece of cake. So I grabbed that one right there. And then I went up running back home and grabbing some gravel to come back and turn it in. So, yep, grab it. I don't know what I was thinking about, but I went home, grabbed some gravel, came back, and then Bob's your uncle got another flame book. So those are pretty easy ones, and I like this one. I like this this bounty board. I like it. So we got 2 flame books. So then we wound up I looked through it, see if anything else was worth it, easy pickings or not, or anything I wanted. I didn't really care. So that other flame book I left. I didn't want whatever deal with it. So yeah, we wound up going back to our anvil and we threw flame on our bow. So now we have a power 3, unbreaking 2 flame bow. So come in handy, I think. And I think while I was in here, I was looking at these shovels that I had, and I decided to combine one down to get unbreaking 2 on it. And if I can combine a bunch more, and then combine that, I can unbreaking 3, and yeah. But we got an extra unbreaking 2 shovel, so. So yeah, we went back to the village again, and I hunted out the cleric and tried to give her all my rotten flesh to try and get her leveled up, plus to get emeralds. I mean, obviously I'm always in need of emeralds with the trading I'm keep doing with these villagers. So, yep, Yvette's running away. She's like, "Oh, I've had enough. It's raining. It's getting dark. Leave me alone." But I was like, "No, I have more." And then she splashed me with a potion. She splashed all of us with some regen potion for like 45 seconds. Because I was trading with her, I guess. I don't know. It was nice. I mean, look, she's just throwing potions all willy-nilly. She's splashing everybody. She's so happy I gave her all this rotten flesh. She's just spraying potions everywhere. She splashed them all again. So, I don't know what if that's gone into her, but she ran out of her rotten flesh trades, so I think I wound up buying some lapis just to finish her off to get her to level up. So, and then let's see here, I can't remember what she wound up with. I think there was glass bottles and glowstone. I think it was glowstone trade, which was kind of nice. So yeah, we can buy glowstone for 3 emeralds, and a rabbit's foot for an emerald, which, I mean, I don't know where we're going to find rabbit's feet inside the desert, but I did buy some glowstone to get her leveled up to the next level. So we do have a little bit of glowstone now. It was 3, might be a little pricey, but, you know, eventually I guess I'm going to have to get all my villagers into one spot. I just let her roam. I mean, if I really don't like it, I always take the brewing stand and make another one somewhere. So I figured it's not a huge deal. It's not like any of those trades are spectacular. But I can give her glass bottles for an emerald, and maybe I can find some sand somewhere and make a bunch of glass. I bought some ender pearls to try and get her leveled up, but I ran out of emeralds, so we still have to go finish her off to master level. But I said, good night and adieu. Alright, so with all of our side projects and diversions aside, we do have this thing built still, and we do need to get power to it. So what we're going to do next is we're going to build a steam power plant somewhere around the barn. But in order to do that, we're going to have to go to the nether and get some blaze burners. So
We need to do a little bit prep work before we go to the nether. I'm thinking about building something right on that side, but you know, before we had the windmill up here, I tried running power from that, and then over there I tried running power from that windmill over there, but they just weren't powerful enough. So, yeah, I tried running that underground right there, but it just wasn't powerful enough. So, first we're gonna head back to the village, and I'm looking for a cleric person. Hey, leather worker. Yeah, I never care about them. I don't know what they even give you towards the end. It's even worth it, but here's our cleric, and I had some rotten flesh I wanted to get rid of quick and see if I couldn't get her leveled up higher. Obviously it's not going to be enough to really get her up there. I don't even think we get to half, but you know, it's worth a shot. Plus I think I have a couple emeralds, so I look at maybe buying some stuff to try and get her leveled up. I wish I had some rabbit's feet, but I don't really have a good way to do that. Unless we get a cat that drops it off. So, but we give it a shot here. We got her leveled a little bit. We'll have to come back. Maybe we make some glass bottles, and we can do that. If we go back and collect a bunch of sand, so that could be another option. But so we'll check out our nether backpack. I got it loaded to bear. As you can see, that was in there. I put some contraption stuff in there because I was thinking that I could take that minecart assembler, contraption assembler, or whatever, and seal the spawner out of the nether. But I got this other backpack that I picked up that was, I think it's gold level. Yeah, gold level backpack, and I want to transfer all my nether stuff out of that backpack and into that backpack. So I go about doing some swaps here between the items between the nether backpack and the gold backpack. So I'll start taking out stuff in my inventory and putting it in here just to fill it out and get it ready to go. So yeah, I've got a cart, assembler, super glue, my wrench, some of the create stuff I need. I've got some other odds and ends in my main backpack as well, redstone torch and things like that, so I can either make it or I can, you know, make it work. As you can see, I also have 3 empty blaze burners in there that I'll take with me, and I do have materials in my backpack to make more if I need to. But I would like to try and fill up some blaze burners and then also take the spawner with me. That is the current plan. Whether that actually happens, you know, well, you'll have to see in a bit here. But we're going to get this loaded up, and you know, it gives us a lot more room. So we can put more things in that backpack for one another if we find more items, or if we want to mine more ores or get more nether blocks. It gives us more room to operate with. So yeah, we did the changeover, and so with the swapping done, we got our backpack with us, and now we were going to head off to the nether portal, where we will attempt to make our way over there. Now, I also had some obsidian in that backpack that I wanted to create another portal next to where our entrance is down the tunnel to the fortress that we created, and then pop out into the overworld, and we'll see where that winds up taking us. So here we go, into the nether again. It's always so laggy jumping back through here initially until things load. So, but good thing we left waypoints, so we spot the waypoints and we take off. And of course, we're gonna fly there over the big old nether lava lake again. So we will throw on our gold helmet, just so you know some piggy boys don't come after us. We had that in our backpack, so and we will jet on over that way. It's pretty wide open here, but we'll hit the basalts and some other things. As we landed finally in that area, we had some piggies that were in there, and this little one tried to come at me and scared him off, and I was thinking, well, I got flame on my bow now, how about we get some pork chops? So I was taking on Mama, and she got a little close, so I had to... And then a bug landed on my face. These mosquitoes. I hate these things. But we got him, so... We got his friend here trying to suck on my face. So we got them down. We got some cooked pork chops because this pig was on fire when we killed it. So we got some cooked chops, which are good. Love good chop. So we make our way over to where we had our entrance there. We blocked off. Make sure nobody's following me. So we dig our way in. I got my new pickaxe, and it shocked me. I think really that efficiency on the diamond pickaxe, man, it really cuts through netherrack. I wasn't prepared. I hadn't really used it before, so. But here I'm going to dig out an opening, and we're going to fit the nether portal right here in this area right here. So we'll dig out some netherrack here, and then plop in the portal and close up our hole completely, just so we don't have anything wandering through. I think those little piggies can fit through the one block, so we'll just keep that shut. And then let's light this bad boy. Bam. Alright. Now we have our way to the overworld, and I think we're going to go through it and just see where we're at on the other side, how far away we really are. So, yep, as we hop on through here, sun's going down on us quick, so I break out our sleeping bag that we have on us just to, like, take a quick snooze through the night so no mobs all over us. But at first glance, it looked like we were in a swamp biome, and sure enough we are, and in the swamp river, and there's this huge catfish swimming in here, so I thought I'd take a little liberty and, you know, take a couple of them down and get some catfish meat. Unfortunately, we can't use that in the create stuff. However, we can still cook it and eat it, so yep, I took out some catfish here, some of these big mama jammas here. And then I wanted to get kind of a sky view and see where we're at, what's around here. So, yeah, we're in a swamp, a little bit of a swamp sliver biome. There's some mountains around us, there's some water out that way, there's some plains, so we got some oak trees. There's some interesting little area. It's just like a little sliver of a swamp. So I wanted to see kind of where we're at. This is our new area, where we're at compared to our area, and yeah, it's pretty far away, but it's pretty much due east, so yeah, with that, we pop back into the nether, and we'll continue our trek to the floors. So, we'll fly followed me in. Take a second to figure out, hopefully it was one of those face huggers. But so we go down. Remember last time we had Skelly Boys here. We're just showing up, so I taking my time, being real careful, and I didn't want them spawning on top of me again, so I decided to take some of the dirt here and line across the top, so if they do spawn in the pockets, they won't be right over top of my entrance. So maybe that'll help if they do spawn in here again. So we throw some dirt across the top here, and then we'll start on our way. Yeah, I decided to change out for some of the netherrack we mined, just so I have it. I don't know. Nether in the nether. The dirt doesn't bother me, but I can use the netherrack. It's easy enough to get. So we head our way towards where we had dug out into the blaze spawner. This is where the first room was for the wart, and I decided to pull back and just fill in some blocks across the top here, just in case I get followed or something. So just an extra barrier. So this was the first wart room we found, and then you can see there was I saw it down the hallway, there was a blaze. So I back off a bit here, and I gotta get my blaze burners ready. So I got my blaze burner out, an empty one, to capture him. You gotta be careful down the hallways, make sure there's no wither skeletons around the corners. So watch down the stairs. I don't know where that sucker went, but he went hiding somewhere. And there he is. So we catch him. So there's one. Right, one out of the 3 that we had. So we got 3 open ones now. So we head back this way. This is where we encountered some wither skeletons last time. So, but nothing here thus far. Nothing
big opening on the long side of here. I don't remember that from last time, but checking our corners, creeping around, being real careful, because you never know when those guys are gonna pop out. They just pop out of nowhere, as you'll see later, and just sneak up on you. So this was the site of the blaze burner, but I didn't block off these hallways, so I decided to do that now, just in case any skeletons like to spawn in there. So, yeah, block off all of them. So yeah, right up ahead was where our blaze spawner is. So get the blaze burners out. I run up quick, just to catch however many I can. Notice there's some zombie piglins up there, and there's one that spawned over here. I don't know where he came from. He was not there, so maybe there's another spawner around there somewhere. But I got 3 filled. I retreat back into the hallway there, the dead end. So we got 3 right now in our blaze burners. So now we move on to my second plan, was the contraption, right? I want to try, I've never used a contraption before, so it's my first attempt, right? So I figured I'd mine in alongside of here. And then I was like stuck. I was like, well, let me in. It's like, oh yeah, there's the fence below it. So I mine up the fence, and we put a block down and continue forth. So I mine in along the side here. Figure out mine in, and then I'll cut over underneath it, right? And see if I can get it onto a contraption. So I'm kind of guesstimating here. I break my way through, but there's this gap between the spawner room and the bunch of netherrack it spawned in. So as you can see, I peeked up over, there's the spawner in there. I wanted to get a little bit of a look, try and figure out where I'm at. So those are the stairs, and that's the opening. So yeah, I try and block that off a little bit so they don't sneak up over the edge and come down on me. Later, I will regret not being a little more thorough in that. But so I guesstimate kind of where that spawner is, and I start digging inward, hoping they can't spawn in a 2-block high area underneath the spawner. So I start digging around and kind of guesstimate where it's at. I kind of dig up. I'm like, oh, there's a blaze up there. Great. And I'm like, well, that's not the spawner. So I see the spawner over there in the corner. Cover that up before they get me. So yeah, I just kind of searching around here. I'm opening up the room a little bit so I have some room to work, because I gotta put the contraption down too. So my thought was I'm gonna glue it to something and make that the contraption, right? So oh, we missed a little bit. So it's over this way. Oh, he got me. He sniped me through the hole. Little bugger. And I kind of lost where I was. So I just said take another try, and I'm off again. Oh, this guy tried to come in. He was like, oh, let's get some action. Took him out. I got a blaze rod, so that was nice. So, yep, okay. Next block over. Got it. So, cover that. Yep, there it is. Cover that hole. Alright, so there's your spawner. Alright, we're right under the spawner. So now, we've got to set up the contraption. So, I was just going to glue it to some things. So, I throw some nether brick, or nether rack, rather, sorry. Nether rack underneath it. And, we're going to throw another piece of netherrack under there, too. I gotta try and get all of my contraption stuff out here. My wrench and my glue and that kind of stuff that we had stashed away, the mine cart, all that. We're gonna need that stuff to work the contraption. So like I said, this is my first time using a contraption, so I didn't really know what all I was gonna need. I did bring some more super glue because I knew that one was getting to the end. So I brought a little bit extra. So I do have that, just in case. But so yeah, being my first contraption, I wasn't really sure what to expect or how to make this work, but I have seen some videos on it, from watching Mr. Beardstone do stuff and things like that, and how it all works. So I think I just put the block underneath it, and then I'm like, I was gonna go put down the cart assembler, but it says it needs to be on a rail block. I'm like, oh, I didn't realize that. So now I gotta make some rail. Luckily, I have plenty of iron and sticks with me, and I forgot how to make rail, so I had to look it up. It's just iron and stick. I thought it was stick and a little more less iron, but I should have known better. But I do get 16 out of it, so
So yep, I've got plenty of iron, so I make 16 rails, I guess, 'cause I've got stuff to do it. So we got some rails now, and now we're good to go. So I put down some track right below the block there, so I can put the assembler on it. Boom. Okay. I forgot to lock the rotation, so, and then I throw the minecart down, and I figure, okay, we should be good to go. So I get my super glue out, right? And then I glue that block, but I realize I gotta cut a hole on top again. So I gotta risk getting fireballed. So we gotta make it quick. Try and glue all that together. Oh man, that got hit. So place that. Okay. So now we've got this whole thing glued together, and we've got our redstone torch, and boom, contraption. Okay. So now we've got a contraption, right? And I was trying to pick it up, and I kept rotating it around because, like I said, I forgot to lock location. And then I get this message: a mystical force is binding the cart assembler. So, basically, cart contraption to the world. So, I think that means is the blaze spawner, since it's another spawner, it cannot remove it from the nether. Well, that sucks. So that idea was a bit bust. I thought I needed to move it forward or something, so I had that opening up top, and I was trying to get it to move. And the whole time I've got this opening at the top. So I close that up so nothing comes down here, right? And now it's all a mess, and I can't get it. So now I tried to rebuild the contraption again because I picked up the assembler. So I gotta throw a rail down again. And I gotta do it in front of it because I can't put it on top of it. So I tried pushing it, right? I tried pushing it over to be on top of the rail, right? So I could get the assembler, or like under the assembler. See, it rotated on me. And now I wasn't even thinking. There's a big hole right above me. So now Blaze comes in. Try and deal with him, but I didn't realize it's that guy came in. And now I attacked him. And then I got a Blaze coming from the other side somehow, which I don't know where he came from. And now I'm being attacked from two sides because there was two of them, as I remember. And, yep, it was too much. I died. So, great. All of my stuff, everything, armor, jetpack, everything is in the nether. Thousands of blocks away from me in the world. So I spawn in, and I get to work. I gotta get geared up so I can get back there. At least enough so I can get back there. So I grab a shield out of this chest. I grab the iron sword that I have in there. I should have grabbed the bow too, but I guess I didn't. I don't know. I could have grabbed the bow, but I didn't. Pretty sure I grabbed that iron sword. And I was thinking, what can I do to go back and try and get some armor, right? So, like, trade in the village, I guess. So I went and grabbed the iron sword. Yeah, there's iron. So I look up trying to get another jetpack, right? 'Cause it's the only way, if I go over the overworld, it'd be the safest way to get there. But I'll buy it later, whatever. And I also did not know how long my body would have. I didn't know if it would despawn at some point or what. So I'm trying to hurry anyway, make the jetpack. So yeah, I'm trying to figure out why this isn't, working. And I'm like, oh, it's not brass sheets, it's copper sheets. So I grabbed some copper sheets, and I start trying to make another steam engine. So we've got copper sheets, got one steam engine. So we'll go through the process. We'll hit it, and then we'll. Oh, I screwed up here. I thought it was hit then squirt, but it's not. It's squirt, hit, hit, squirt, hit. So hit it again, and then you go through the whole process. I think we do it 3 times. Yeah, I don't know what I was doing. I remember eventually, and I get it going. So we've got this going here. We make our new hydraulic engine so we can make another jetpack, because we're going to need it, because we got a long way to travel, and this is going to be the fastest way. So we got our hydraulic engine. We get all the stuff put together, make our new jetpack. So now we have another copper jetpack, and then I need some buckets to fill it up with water. So I make myself a couple buckets in case I want to take some extra water with me. So yeah, we make 3 buckets and go to fill them up. I'm going to put the extra iron away. So yeah, so we'll go out here and we'll get water to fill up our new jetpack, and we'll have buckets that will keep filled with water so we have them. So we'll go through this process just like we normally do to fill up our jetpack. So at this point, I'm thinking I'm going to try and go back to the village and see if I can get some emeralds, and maybe I can do some trades and hopefully get enough emeralds to do something. So I grab my trading backpack, and then now with our filled jetpack, we take off to the village in hopes of getting something to help protect us. I know I only have like 5, maybe 6 emeralds, so not a lot to work with. So I was hoping I had enough in my backpack to trade to get something. So it's not a lot, but so yeah, we make our way to the village here. We'll drop in and see what we can't do with stick trades, because I think that's primarily what's in the backpack at the moment. Sticks. I don't even have a shovel right now. So, yep, we'll talk to Teresa here. Not a lot of, we don't have a lot of sticks. I should have stopped by the stick farm before we went over here and made a bunch more, but I was kind of in a hurry and flustered, so yeah, we see how many sticks we can get here. At least she's at 31 still. I don't know, it doesn't really help you a whole lot. It's something. It's better than nothing, I guess. So we trade up all of our sticks and try to get as many emeralds as we can. We don't do too bad. I mean, it could be better, but... So we've got 14, and I made a couple extra blaze burners too. So I got those with me. Using some of the stuff we had in our overworld chest. I was going to eat pumpkin pie as food, but then I realized, like, you have to put it on the ground to eat it. I can't just eat it out of my hand. You have to eat it like cake, where you put it on the ground and then you eat it in quarters, so it got weird. So yeah, I'm trying to decide in here. I have enough emeralds to get something, but what, you know? So what I decided to do is I had enough emeralds to get the helmet. And I figured, I thought I had a chest plate, a gold chest plate back at, well, a chest plate I had my jetpack, right? But I thought I had some gold pants or something back at the mob farm. So I decided to go with a helmet. So that way, once I get all my stuff back, I can combine the helmets and I can get a Proc 3 Aqua Affinity 2, if it goes that high, I don't remember, helmet. So I can combine them together and get a better helmet. I mean, obviously I could do it with any of them, except for maybe the feather fall. But the chest plate, I couldn't have got better on breaking, but I could have got protection 3 on it. But I didn't have enough. I didn't have enough for a chest plate, so I went with the helmet. I was thinking about buying some of the chainmail boots and stuff, but I said, nah, never mind. Like, I can make iron boots if that's the case or whatever. So, and I know I had some gold, like some gold stuff back at the mob farm. So we went over the diamond helmet, and we wound up with, yeah, I guess just the diamond helmet from the trades. So then we went back to the mob farm and seeing what I had in here, and instead of boots, I went with pants.
So I grabbed those golden pants. Obviously they're almost broken, so we have to remedy that situation as well. Wish I had an enchanting table. I could have enchanted some of the stuff a little bit. So we go back, I grab some iron, and we make ourselves some booties, because I think that's what we had left to complete our ensemble. So we got some boots, and then I also grab some gold so we can repair the pants. It's kind of a waste of levels and materials, but it is what it is. So we got the gold pants, throw in the gold, boom, we got fixed gold pants. So now we have gold on so the piglins won't mess with us. And we got some iron boots, and we got a diamond helmet and a jetpack. So we'll put those ingots away. We'll drop our trading backpack back off. And I decided to make some food for the trip as well. I made a bunch of fish stew. So I made some of that up. So we'll hit something to eat. The pumpkin pie, I did find though that if I eat it, it gives me like swiftness or something for like 30 seconds, which is interesting. So, but I decided not to go with pumpkin pie for my food source. Then I decided to make me an axe or two. I think I made like 2 or 3, just so I had an axe to use if in case I needed an axe. So I didn't even take a crafting table with me. But it's alright. We start on our journey. We went due east. We traveled for a while, and then as you can see, we come across this cool village out a ways from our route. It's huge. It's awesome looking. It's like an acacia or jungle village or something. It was really cool. So I did stop here since it was night. I stopped here just to see maybe what I could find real quick. I hardly went into any buildings. I think I went into 2. I was mostly trying to find a bed because I didn't want to bring mobs in here and that kind of stuff. So I went up to this little house here quick. There was a chest in there. There was some fish hanging out on item frames, so I'm like, oh, a little more food, right? Basically, all I really got out of this village is food, right? So I stole the coal out of here, because I need coal probably at some point. I went into this place. This place was like a cafeteria or something, or a restaurant. It's got 3-tiered cake. It's got booths. It's got a whole cooking setup. It was pretty decked out. There's a bottle of experience hanging out over there. So this chest had bacon and meat and another knife, like had all kinds of goodies in there. So yeah, I nabbed the bottle of experience too. You never know, comes in handy. And yeah, I waterlogged myself accidentally. So I decided, and here I threw some coal in, and I started to start cooking up some of the raw meat that I found here, just so I had some more food for the journey. Or, you know, if I needed it. So I did that. I noticed there was also a chest hanging out over there behind that little like sectioned off area, the wooden sectioned off area. There's a chest hanging out there. So I did go over there and check that out as well and see what was in there. As you can see on the sign out in front of it there, it says private. So I don't know, it must be the chef's private area. There's a cool dog outside, so we'll come back for that dog. But it has more meat in it, minced beef and all that kind of stuff. Maybe that's what the dog wanted. He wanted that minced beef. There's a pressure plate on the ground too. It kept opening and shutting the door or the gate. So we went upstairs to see what's up here, and of course there's some water, and there's another chest. And I just took the bread out of there. I didn't really need anything other stuff. I threw some saplings. I cut down a jungle tree just so I had some wood and stuff. There was an iron ingot hanging out on the table, so I took that. 2, in fact. And a bunch of slime balls. So yeah, I want to take the slime balls. Like, where were those like days ago, right? When I needed to make more glue. So I took the bread out of the chest, and then we slept. So we can start back fresh in the morning on our trek back east, back to the east. So I grab the
food that we had cooked. Obviously, I left the raw chicken there. I mean, we could have took it, but I had enough pork chops and steak and everything else. I took the coal, what I had left, and we hightailed it out of there. Took off. So, alright. Going back east again. So, keep traveling due east until we hit where we need to hit. There's a lot of jungle on the way. A lot of jungle. We hit a mountain too that we came over when it was a big mountain. But as we were going, all of a sudden across this huge ocean, we found this spruce biome. I'm like, oh, I don't have any spruce. I mean, I was trying to do as little detours as possible because I thought maybe time was of the essence, but I wasn't going to turn down spruce. So I chopped down this spruce tree, hoping to get logs as well as collect some saplings so we can take them back with us. So we get a few saplings out of this, so we do take those back with us so we can grow those trees, and then we'll have spruce now at our base, which is awesome. It's good wood to work with. I like it. It's darker. It's good. It's not as dark as dark oak, so it's a good in between. I like it. It'll help with some of the variations we can create. So yep, we chopped down this tree. Obviously, it takes a little bit of time. We're using our stone axes. So, but yeah, like, we don't spend a lot of time here. This is about all I do. And I stopped here also because I wanted to refill our jetpack. I figured we were probably getting pretty low after all that flying. I mean, it was a really large ocean we flew over to get to the side. So I figured we were probably pretty low on fuel. So, and I was right. I think we were down to like 400 millibuckets left or something like that. It wasn't a lot. I think we probably had maybe a quarter of a tank left. So we filled up, and I continued east again, and then, oh, I ran across, oh look, there's an acacia tree. Like, or not an acacia, azalea tree. So I was like, okay, we'll mark this on the map. So I marked it on the map as a lush cave. Obviously, below it is always a lush cave. So I marked that on the waypoint, and then I continued east. I didn't have time to go through it, you know, so we'll keep going east. We'll come back at a later day. I'll come back to that big village as well. So we'll do that. I did mark where our thing was with the waypoint, so I knew where to find it. So we got back to the portal right at dark. So it took us about 2 full days then to get here from our base. So 2 full Minecraft days. So yep, we headed back down the tunnel on the way back to the to get our stuff. I do have the blaze burners loaded in my hotbar, ready to capture more blazes. You know, we're kind of wearing minimal hodgepodge armor, so we find our way there. So a lot more careful, seeing if there's anything left in here. So there's my body. So what I did is I did what I should have done the first time, is blocked that off better. Because I think that's how that blaze got down. I think they got down over that lip. So, alright, I got all my stuff back, organized my inventory a bit. We're good to go, but I was hearing blaze sounds. So I was being real careful coming out of here. Because I didn't know where he was. I knew I heard him. So he's around here somewhere. Carefully mine over, and I want to get my contraptions back, and then boom, there he is. So block up the hole so no more can come down. I tried swiping at him a couple times, and then I was like, wait, I have blaze burners, so I should put them in one. So alright, so we captured one more, and so now we're kind of trying to get my stuff back. I just bring it all down, collect it all, and just get the heck out of Dodge. So skedaddled out, but of course as I came out, boom, blaze right there in the hallway. So tucked back in, got my blaze burner. Oh, he got me though, but he captured it. So let the fire go down, and so I'm like, you know, while we're here, I pressed my luck a little bit. I was like, maybe we can make some more blaze burners and capture some more before we leave, because I can't take the spawner with me, obviously. So I quick go into my backpack and quick make up of however many blaze burners I can. Yeah, I just dump it all in there. So all the flat iron sheets I have. So we make a few more, 3 more. So we've got 3 more blaze burners to fill. So we make a run at it. So make sure everything's safe. I go up here and I just try and collect 3 more. I get set on fire, but I got 3. We're out. We'll fire it down. Chew on some taters. We got 3 more blaze burners. We'll dump those in our another backpack. So as you can see in our another backpack, we wind up with 8 full blaze burners, and coupled with the 1 that we have back at home, that makes 9. So we take off and leave, but as you can see, I spot a wither skelly. It's a good thing I blocked things off. I was gonna go get him, but then boom, out of nowhere, right around the corner. Like, it's literally a 1 block deep little owl. It was snuck in there. I didn't even see him. So yeah, we got withered, but we dispatched these skellies and carefully migrated around. But obviously, as careful as we are, we ran into them. You know, they're around. So I'm almost home free. We come into our empty room. I fell in the hole and then boom, came down the stairs. He trapped me in the hole. Yeah, he got me. He got me. He withered me, but we took him out. So we didn't get any more skulls, but we did get withered a couple times. Yet we still survived and we got out. Everything's clear. We get back in our tunnel. And at this point I was like, you know what, I'll go through the nether. I got all my stuff back. I'm fully armored. The jetpack is pretty much full. So I block it up with dirt so I know where it's at, even though we still have a waypoint. And then I take off. And we make our way back to home. Over the nether. It's faster this way, so I figured because everything was full, you know. So, and I make my way back. We finally get back to the portal without a vent. Didn't get any more suckers on my face. Didn't have any more attacks. More stuff to get out of there. And directly head back to base to drop off all of our goodies and my full backpacks. So I sorted everything out. Like I said before, we merged the helmets that we had, since we have 2 of them now. So I merged those 2 together. And now we have a Protection 3 Aqua Affinity helmet. Cost 7 levels, but it was worth it. So now we have a Proc 3 helmet, so that's good. Also, on the way out, ran across a couple more blazes that I wound up attacking to get 12 blaze rods from them, which was nice. So, when I was putting stuff away, I left the blaze rods and the magma cream out because I wanted to make a brewing stand and make some fire resist potions. You know, I didn't have any of those. I should have made those before I went off to the nether, but I decided to make the brewing stand since I've got some extra blaze rods laying around. So I made up the brewing stand and I made a couple of blaze powder. Yeah, you know, there's no sense of turning it all into blaze powder yet, so we got 9 rods left. We made some blaze powder, and I decided to make some glass bottles too, because we're gonna need them, right? Alright, so I decided to put the brewing stand up on top. This is where I want my enchanting area anyway, so I figured I'd put my brewing stand up here. So I threw it on top of the crafting table for the time being. Threw the bottles in there. Well, I gotta go fill them up with water first. So we'll go down, fill the bottles with water, and then we'll go back up top, and we'll put them in there. So we'll throw the water bottles in, and you know how we make in the blaze powder, and that's. I went downstairs and grabbed some nether wart,
And I popped that in there to make ourselves some awkward potions. So once that brews up, then we'll throw the magma cream in to make ourselves some fire resist potions. And I only have one magma cream for the one magma slime we killed. So there we go. We'll throw the magma cream in, and we'll get ourselves brewed up some fire resist potions. Now I was thinking that it would be nice to extend them. So I know gunpowder is for making them splash, and I think glowstone makes them stronger if they can become stronger. But then for duration, you need redstone, right, to make them last longer. So I went downstairs and grabbed some redstone, and while they were still in there, I threw that in there, and we made some fire resist potions that last twice as long. So now they will last 8 minutes. I got distracted looking at golden apple that was in there, and I'm like, oh, golden apple, I can make them? And they're like, no, it's disenchant. You get experience. So that was shiny, caught my eye. There we go. We got 8-minute fire resist potions. So took those out, got the brewery achievement. Tried to stack them and realized you can't stack them, which kind of sucks. So I went back downstairs and I threw those in my nether backpack, so I have them for later. And I figured out how to lock memory for them too. So what I did is I went to the memory settings and I locked those into memory so they always go in that spot. And I saved them. So that way I can auto sort the inventory, but those will always be down there. So yeah, I know where they're at all times in there. Then I decided to make a chest and throw it up here next to it and throw all my brewing stuff, odds and ends, enchanting things or whatever, in the chest up here for now. Eventually I'll make an enchanting setup. Then I thought, I saw I had some achievements to collect some rewards on, so I did that quick. Some of them were kind of old. Stuff from last episode I haven't collected, so I just collected a couple of those. I think that was about it. That's all we had there, so. Wasn't a lot. Like I said, some of them were from last episode, especially the jukebox one. So I wanted to get ready and start preparing stuff to make our steam engine. So I made a bunch of cogs, I made, the pumps, all the things I would need for the steam engine. I made a bunch of fluid tanks. I made up a bunch of barrels and made a bunch of fluid tanks. I wound up making more than this. I had to go and make more barrels and more copper sheet. But once I did that, I made more fluid tanks. So, I also wanted to kind of do a little detail side project on the barn. I made a lightning rod, and I flew up to the top here, and I kind of put like a little pseudo weather vane thing right up top here. Just, I thought it'd look cool. Plus, I could throw the lightning rod on it, and if for some reason I'm awake while it's thunderstorming out, it's less chance the barn will catch fire by lightning. So I thought it was a twofold little effort. So I probably should have built it up a little bit higher, but I thought it was kind of fun, whimsical, looked okay. So yeah, we throw the lightning rod on top of the little weather vane thing we made out of fence, and boom, and we got ourselves a little. I don't know if like the lightning rod on top of wood is good if it'll catch fire underneath it or not, but I thought the lightning rod negates all lightning, so we're gonna go with that. Hopefully, we never really have to tempt it, but in case it does happen, we're good to go. So you can see I've got 9 blaze burners in my inventory. So I was thinking about doing it on the side of the building, but then I came back around the back side and I was thinking maybe I'll put it back here. So I started carving out the area, kind of where I wanted to put it. I figured it'd be better because then I could run the power chain just straight up the back, up the center beams, and then have it go all the way to the top, and then I can have it come out instead of running across
want from one side to the other. I can go from the middle and go to both sides. So I decided to put it back here on the back side of the barn. So I kind of cut out a bigger section back here just to give me some room to work. And then I'll start digging out a pad for it. I want to make like a nice stone pad to put everything on, and I'm gonna put a bigger building around it, nice enclosure at some point here. I kind of want to get this power going, so I want to get this farm on me. Both of them at some point, obviously, but I just want to get the watermelon going for proof of concept, so I know what I'm doing, and I'll just duplicate it on the other side for the pumpkin. So I dug it out, kind of squared it off, and then we'll wind up filling in a nice textured pad in this area just to set it on top of, so it looks like it's a worn industrial kind of look to it, since it is a boiler room. I had these stones from when I did my basement, so I thought I'd throw them in the corners. They kind of look cool for like end stones on things, so. And I kept having issues with them going sideways on me. But I don't know why it matters, because I was just going to cover them with wood anyway, but I thought they looked cool. So, threw those down, and then I threw a mix of smooth stone, regular stone, cobblestone, and some tuff. I just kind of randomly threw them down on the ground here, bits, pieces everywhere, odds and ends, just to kind of sprinkle them in, just to make it look like it's been worn and things like that. Tuff is nice. I'm going to go get some more tuff. And I know tuff, I use the plain blocks. I know they all have brick variants and stuff. I might come back later and I can change it whenever I want, but right now, this is what I'm going to use. I just wanted to get it kind of in there. It looks good, I think. I think it doesn't look too half bad, so. And most of it's going to get covered, so you're not going to see a lot of it, but at least it's got a little bit of character to it. So there's our beginning pad. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to take our blaze burners, and I'm just going to do a 4x right now. So I throw 4 blaze burners down, and then I start placing the fluid tanks on top. Wasn't sure how tall to go yet, so I went up with just what I went with 8, I think, on top to start with. Well, a 2-high tank, I should say. Oh no, I do one more level. Okay, so it's a 3. I think I only did 2 to start with. Yeah, I only did 2 to start with. Now, later I will make it bigger. I realize I need to make it bigger. So what I wanted to do is, I haven't really ever made one before, but I know just from watching, like, I need a water source to pump water into the tank, and I wanted to make it self-perpetuating to where it'll pump water in and keep itself running based on the power it's generating. Right? It generates power, it pumps the water, it keeps itself with water and running, and it just keeps going. You just got to prime it to get it started, and then it runs on its own, right? So, and I want it to run off of not being powered yet. Now I know if I can power the blaze burners, right? I can feed them stuff and it gets stronger. But I want it to run off just normal blaze burner heat first. So I put a little infinite water source here, and I figure I'd just pump it right in from there. So I was trying to work out how the pump works. Does it have to be all the way down? Does it have to be up top? Obviously there I put it in the wrong spot to begin with. So I try and work on that, and I got the pump in, and I do get it to where it'll actually function. It will put water into the tank. So we put the pump in. I gotta get another tube, and it connects. I did realize you cannot put windows in angled tubes. You can only put them in straight sections of the tube, so I can see water pumping through, but I gotta put it in the straight section. So here I thought it needed to be above water one line, but it turns out that is incorrect. It does need to be down in the water. So, and obviously this is my first attempt. This is not how it the finished product will look. But I was trying to get stuff working one bit at a time. So I threw a hand crank on a gear next to it, and I just cranked it to see if I can get water in the tank. And there is water, I think, in the tank at that point, maybe. But I realized that after I got that running, that hey, I need to make the steam engines to go on this thing. So here I put together the steam engines. I make those. So there, steam engine, get the thing. I make up much more shafts because I know I'm gonna need those because you hook them together with shafts and cogs and stuff. So I make more cogs. Trying to get everything together that I will need to make this thing run. So we come back. I kind of jutted it out. I redid the pipes because I figured that I'm going to put the steam engine on that side. And I jutted the pipes around it to try and miss the engine. And then when I put them on, I realized how far out they went. So I'm like, oh, okay. I need to go out like one more block. And then I'm stupid because the input didn't move anywhere. So it's still going to interfere, you know. Like, I don't even know why I did that. As you can see, I had a wandering trader that kept bugging me too. Actually, we had 2 of them come by, I think. All said and done. But so anyway, I tried to get this to work. I threw those on, and then I started throwing. I thought I'd connect it that way, but as you can see, once I put a shaft on those things, they stuck out a lot farther than I realized. So I was like, oh, this isn't gonna work. So I tear down this mess that I made in here. I tear it all down. I'm like, I gotta move the water source. So yeah, I wind up tearing all that out of there, plugging up the water source. I wound up moving it off to the side, and I kind of made like a little reservoir kind of basin-y thing off to the side here where we want to put in the water. So, but I do have those all connected, so it's nice. And I realize also that this foundation is not going to be big enough. I mean, look how far out those things stick. So I'll get to back to that later. But here I threw the cogs in because I know I got to drive power out of this thing, and that's how you drive the power out of it. Connect it to something, gear cases, a gear chain, whatever. So I threw some cogs in there, and I wanted to get these guys running to see if it'll actually run, because I had been pumping some water into it, but it uses so much water that it just burned right up and didn't even power anything. So that's when I was like, okay, I gotta get this thing getting water in it. So I closed up that hole. And this guy, I swear, this guy is always in the way. They get right on top of your stuff. They're so annoying. So I first start by making this base bigger. The pad needs to be bigger. Obviously, I got to enclose this whole thing later, right? So I dig out the cornerstones. Just having some issues picking that thing up out of the ground there. But move the cornerstones out. We go out a few blocks. Extra blocks, I should say. This direction, so it's not going to be even centered in the back of the barn, but it's alright. I don't know what it needs to be necessarily. But, so we go a couple more blocks out. I make the pad a little bit bigger, you know, with our variants of tough, and I ran out of smooth stone and stuff. I think at this point I just wanted to get it in there, so I put down some extra tough, I think. And I should have grabbed, yeah, I got some stone also. So I got some stone and some tough and cobble. And yeah, this guy, like, oh, there's a hole. Let me jump in the hole. Dude, I'm going to fill it in. Get out of the hole. So I start filling in some blocks. They end up getting out of there, luckily. I made it kind of checkerboardy, but that's fine. Like I said, it's all going to get covered with stuff anyway, so I threw some tough, some cobble in there, and extended our pad out. I think it looks okay. So
Well, to start with, we got to get a water source, right? So I was trying to figure out how we wanted to do this, but I thought I'd run some gears out from the power. Obviously, you got to get power off of it, and the barn's on the other side. So we'll start with a gear down at the bottom. So then I made a gearbox, and I thought maybe I'd throw a gearbox on the end of it, because I wasn't sure which way I wanted to shoot it out, I guess, to try and get to the water source. I think I wanted to come this way, but then I was like, maybe I don't. So I changed it over to a different kind of gearbox. I don't know why I thought I needed a gearbox, but I don't wind up using one there. I don't think. I do use gearboxes eventually, but yeah, I kind of wanted it to come out this way. I wanted to move the water out, but then I wasn't sure how that was all going to work and how was that connected back to the tank. So I left that little gear there, obviously, because I need it there. Or at least for now, I need it there. I do change directions here. I make another gearbox. I don't know. I make two. I make a couple gearboxes. You can never have enough gearboxes. So I don't know why I made another one. But so yeah, I was gonna have it run out this way and connect to something to run the water, but I don't want it going that way. So instead of doing that, we break that down, and then I think, yeah, I start coming out this way because I think I'm gonna need to drive something this way, and I'll put the water source on this side and pipe it into the tank from over here instead. That way it's out of the way of the steam engines. So I throw another gearbox in here because I figured, and I have the vertical one so I can put the gear on top of it so I can spin the pump, right? So, and then this guy, I swear, it's going to be the end of the death of me, those guys. So anyway, I'm going to put the water right around this area, so I figure out a place I want to put the pump. Where it's right there, and I'm going to put a tube on the bottom side of it. So the pump's not directly in the water, it's a tube, then a pump, and then, you know, the rest of the tubing into the tank. So then I gotta, I'm like, oh, I need water, but I'm out of water because I used them all and they didn't fill up those buckets I had. So I grab some buckets, the empties, and I go fill up my water. Over here, yeah, I just jump in. Why not, right? So this winds up taking a lot longer. Oh yeah, and then we go under attacking. You see that pillager with a backpack? He's like helping all the rest of them. Look how speedy they are. They're like super speed. Like, they're insane. These pillagers are crazy. So yeah, we were under attack. I fought them off. They're running through the bamboo forest here. But yeah, that pillager with a backpack is insane. So we do fight them off. We put down the villager or pillager invasion. Kill that guy first. The backpack. That guy was a pain. Took this guy out. This crew didn't have a banner guy from. I have other pillager attacks later that I do get banners from, so I want to put the banners up along the side of the barn. Maybe it'll teach them a lesson. Maybe they'll leave me alone. So alright, we get back to doing what we were doing here. So yeah, I want to put the water source here. So I think I grab this guy right in the face. So look what he's selling a sombrero. This same guy was selling a crocodile egg from earlier too, which I really want, but I didn't have enough emeralds, so I'm not even gonna buy it. I have some crocodile eggs, so it's not a huge deal. But I dig down here. I throw some water in here, make another infinite water source, and then, you know,
And, these guys like to jump in it at some point, so because they can't help themselves. Crossbow I tossed. I didn't want it, and I picked it back up again. Throwing it didn't really help. So yeah, I have some pipe. Put it in there, and then I pipe it up into the tank, like so. Boom. And now we got water pipe into the tank. Now, I need to... Yeah, I'm not sure which way that's supposed to go, but I think I leave it down like that. Then I throw the hand crank on top to see if we can get this spinning. I said we put the hand crank on the top. Try again. Yeah, on the top. Right there. Yeah, right there. Yeah, look, even he's watching me. He's like, yeah, right there. Yeah. See? Even he knew. Right there. Okay, so, theoretically, we spin that. It should prime it up. Water should go in there. See, water's in the red. Not good. And it should get going, right? So I spin it up, it doesn't keep going. So I want to make sure water's going in. No, water's not going in. Because I have the tube too far down. It needs to be right above the water. So now I do that. Look, boom, water's going in. Powerhouse, got the advancement. So it's running. But it's also running based on my power. Me pumping in water. And I can't sit here and pump in water the whole time, right? So I should be able to let go, and it does keep going for a tiny bit, and then it runs out of water and shuts off. So I was like, what do I do now? It won't work. I mean, it kind of works, right? It's all there. Just can't get it going. So I thought maybe I'd feed the blaze burners a potato. No, just kidding. We'll feed them some planks and see if I get them heated up initially. If once I get it moving, they'll keep it sustained enough to get enough water in there, and then it'll be good to go. So I'm having a hard time trying to feed this guy some wood. So I just had some planks on me, so I figured I'd feed him some planks and see if I can get things going. So I got them there. Throw the hand crank back on. I get it moving. Get the water pumped in there. It's making power. And then when I stop doing it, does it keep going, right? That is the question. So everybody's watching. Look, the llama's watching and everything. They're all in awe of this masterful piece of industry. So I figure if I go long enough, maybe to get more water in the tank and it can keep running itself, you know, if I fill it up. I mean, it's running right now. Just on the normal blaze, so you see the blaze burners ran out of power already, so I'm like just spinning here. See if I can't get it to go. And then does it keep going? It does. But for how long? It stopped already. So let's just say at this point I'm getting a little frustrated. So I thought maybe I just needed more tank on it. Maybe if I had more tank on top, it will, you know, get more water in there, and maybe that's what it needs, right? Have a bigger tank. So I throw some more tank on top. We try priming it again after I eat a potato, because it takes a lot of energy to crank this thing. You can see the water size is green, the water's still red. So, which means it just doesn't have enough. It uses a lot of water per milli, or a lot of water. It's running, dead. So I'm just not getting enough water in there to keep it sustained. I'm not pumping fast enough, is what I eventually conclude. I was wondering if maybe I just didn't have enough water source. Maybe I needed a bigger water source there. Maybe that was it. I wasn't sucking enough water because the water didn't exist. Okay, I'll get it going for a tiny bit and then it stops. So Water's in the red, so I thought maybe I just need more water. And I think Eddie's looking at it too. He's an expert. Apparently, he knows all about boilers. So in the meantime, in my frustration, yeah, I don't know what I was trying to do there. I think I was trying to make it clear so I can see if there's water in the tank. Obviously, it won't let you once it's a boiler. It won't let you put a clear panel on it. So I kept trying. I was trying to make it work, but it was not working out for me here. So I decided to try and put more water here. So I covered around the water pool here, and I was going to make another layer here. Basically like a well system, another layer of water. And I decided to build out the walls a little bit. Kind of just an idea of where things are going to go, what it's going to look like. See if we can't get it all working. And of course the llamas and this guy, it's just, they don't quit. They would not quit. So I had to, you know, ask them politely to leave. And they did. Look at that. They took off. It was nice seeing them, and they left. So, we built out the walls a little bit. I had to go get more water. Obviously, I need more water, because I used up the water last time. I never refilled my buckets, so. Went and got more water to fill in our new water source. So I was hoping maybe this would give me more water input. Thought maybe it would help, but we give it a crank. Water's going in. You can see it go in, and I was hoping it would be enough, but I was incorrect again. So as you'll see here in a second. I say I crank them a pretty long time. I was hoping I'd fill up the tank enough and then it would keep going, but it goes and it just doesn't sustain. So that was not it. It was not the solution to our problem. I keep trying though. Keep spinning. That stuff takes up so much hunger, spinning that crank. It really does. It eats it up pretty fast. You gotta watch it. So, but yeah, see, dead. So I was thinking maybe there was just too much friction, too much stress through the system, maybe to get there, but I don't know. As you can see here, though, I realized I picked up a backpack from that pillager that had that backpack, and he dropped it, and I got 2 smithing templates from him. So that was cool. So now we got some armor trims that we can throw on that we got from that pillager, from that raid. And we get a cool backpack. Their backpacks are different. They're like red and black. I throw it on the ground later because it's a nice backpack. I want to upgrade that. I think I got it to gold. So I think I want to use that. Maybe I'll swap all the nether stuff into it eventually, so it's like my nether backpack. Or I think I might use it. I might be cheeky and use it for my trading backpack. So I have a pillager backpack for all my trades in the village. That would be funny. But so yeah, I build the walls up. I'm going too high with the stone, just to have a good base, and then eventually I'll put something else around it for the walls. I want to put wood pillars on the corners. So I'll get to that point at some point in time. Not yet. I want to get this thing running, and I want to get the farm working automatically. So right now I'm just building up some walls. Plus it'll keep the riffraff out. So I started looking into the speed controller or mechanical arm to keep filling in whatever I want to use to keep the blazes running. But it came down to I need a precision mechanism. So I'm looking into trying to make that, and I need deployers. So I look into how to make a deployer. But first I made some chain drive. So we made some of those encased chain drives. I make a bunch of those. I figure I can run them up, at least run up my system, right, into the back of the barn and run that. So I cut out this wood here, and I'm going to run it up the back, up the spine here in this wood area, and see where we wind up going with it here. My inventory keeps getting pretty full, so. But yeah, I'm going to run it all the way up there. We're running case chain drives all the way up. And that'll transfer the power from down here to up there. So we're going to build that out here, and then I only go down the one side. I'm thinking I might wind up changing that and go down both sides, but I got to look into that a little bit further. So we'll build them up. We will. I'll fill the one side back in here with the logs and stuff that were there, just to keep the aesthetic going. I think in the future I might come back with some copycat panels and cover over them so it doesn't look like a bunch of gears going up the back side of the barn. But I only go to this point right here, just above. So I think I can come back in, but the panels stick off a bit, so I don't know. We'll see. Still might not notice them. But. So I'll run the chain drive all the way down, and then I'll go back through here, and I'll fill in the rest of the areas here with the logs and stuff I took out of there. There we go. There's our drivetrain. Ugh. Here's our drivetrain to run up, and then I run some cogs over, and just connect everything with a bunch of little cogs. That's kind of a theme, as you'll see later. But we'll throw another cog in here, and then that'll well, maybe 2 cogs in there, and that'll finish off this just gear train here. I might change it out for encased chain drive also on the bottom just to make it look cleaner, but for now, for proof of concept, that's what we're gonna do. So I'm back in the bottom of the basement there, and I make a deployer hand with some brass sheet and some some ingot there, andesite ingot. So yeah, I get one of those electron tubes and some casing, andesite casing here. And we got our deployer hand, and we make a deployer. So I got to think of what we're gonna do. And my first instinct was I'll make one deployer, right? See how it goes. So we made it, and I throw it where we have this bunker over here because I need a depot to use. So I take that out of there and throw the deployer up there. I saw it takes input on a shaft off the side. Obviously, I gotta figure out how to put these things up. They're kind of a pain to place. Like I thought, like I'd put them up there, but it keeps putting them in sideways if I place it on the brick down. You have to actually like point up to the top, yeah, like that, and then it'll work. It's annoying. Whatever, and you can't rotate it down. So, all right, so we got one deployer. Well, to make the precision mechanism, I needed to apply 3 different items, and I didn't feel like changing them in and out. So I thought I would over there. I would put the other 2 deployers using the power that I have running over there. So I take out. So I got to make. Well, yeah, I have to make 2 more deployers first of all. But I had 2 depots over there. So all I have to do is take out the other smasher and the. Well, I was gonna try and run it right next to the squirter, but I wound up changing that a little bit. Say I gotta put small cog, a big cog, and iron ingot, and I gotta do it 5 times. So I'm like, okay, we'll try and use what we got here. We'll just change out stuff. So I get to work breaking this wall down so I can run another gear. I don't know why I took 2 out, but it did. we take this depot out, and I put it one over, right? So we'll have another deployer running right there. I'll run another cog off of that, so that way I can put the deployer right next to it. Now, I gotta make another cog, don't I? I think I have to make another cog. Yeah, I was out of cogs. Man, that's the story of the playthrough too. Like, cogs. Always need to make more cogs. Can never have too many cogs. So, I make a bunch of them, because we're going to need some to, like, put in the mechanism as well. So, I take one, I put it up there, hoping that... Yeah, see, these you can at least turn around. Hoping that I can run it off of that, which it works. But I ran into an issue later, as you'll see. So I take that down, and I'm going to put the two deployers up right there next to each other. It's going to be a very manual operation right now until I can build something so I can loop it around. But so I make two more deployers, and I put them up, and I didn't learn my lesson from the first one. And obviously I put it in sideways. You have to, like, really... See, I thought I was pointed up high enough, but you really have to be pointed up. Like, straight up. Second one I got. So see, it runs, but I can't get... I don't even know if it's necessary, but there's filters on the side of these things. And I thought I had to put the things in the filters. So I took that down. As you can see here, I took out the squirter and the pump. So I could get at that filter for the one, because I kept wanting to put it in sideways, because that's where the input was. It wasn't from the side, it was from the back. It still works, but I needed to get at that filter. At least I thought I did. So I threw the small cog and a large cog over there, and then this side I put the iron nugget that we need to use. So now I got to give them to the deployer. So you got to point up at, like, the wrist to, like, give them the item, and it takes the stack. So same with this one, it takes the stack that I had. So I had 5 of each, which is all I needed, which is luckily enough. But I have 64 iron here that I throw in there. So there's 64 iron nuggets there, there's 5 of each of those cog wheels, I believe. So now we can get started. So now I take gold cheat, it punches it with the 1, and then I'm like, oh, what's going on? Duh, I took the power away. So I threw another cog back in there so I had power. And so it puts the large cog, puts the iron nugget on, and then we repeat it. So we do that 5 times. We put it over here, boom. So then we just do that again, and then right at the end, last one, boom. First shot, we get it. So we got our precision mechanism. Now we can make our speed controller. Brass casings, boom. Speed controller, done. Now, with that and a large cogwheel, we should be able to set our speed higher to the pump to pump more water into the tank based on the power it's outputting. And hopefully, in doing so, it will continue to generate and run power based on the bare minimum output of the blaze burners. So we throw it down where we had some cogs there. We deleted the cogs, put their speed controller down. We changed the speed. I just jacked it all the way up to as fast as it could go for now. Threw the large cogwheel in, connected to the machine. But then I realized there's an issue. The output shafts go the opposite direction is what I need. So first off, I went to the other side and I took out all these cogwheels because they aren't going to be useful anymore. We ran some shaft out of the input there. So we run some shaft over to this point. I threw a gearbox in there to connect up with the chain drive. So that side should be good. This side is a little more complicated. So I deleted some of that stuff out of there. And obviously I needed to get to make a turn. So I wound up moving it out one, putting a block there, putting a gearbox next to the speed controller, running some shaft out, put an extra cog in, and I threw another gearbox in there, so everything is connected. Threw my hand crank on top of that one, and I cranked her up mean, look how fast that thing's going, right? It's going. The top one starts spinning, right? It's pumping water in. It's looking good. So, and then, let's see. We gotta do a hands off. And look, it's pink. Look at it go. Man, is it spinning. It is just going, going, going. And did it do it? Yes, it did. It has not stopped yet. It's still pumping. So it is pumping in. Look at that. The water's in the green. So it's pumping in more water than it's using now at this point to generate power. So it worked. Mission accomplished. Yes. Look at that thing just go. Later, I do kind of reduce the speed down a bit. So now I can back up in the barn here, and I realize, okay, the power's coming in there, and I got to get it over there. So I thought what I would do is I move the power generation point here, sit on this end, I'll move it to the other end, so that way I can hook right up to power. And this thing's going to run a little bit backwards, I guess, but it'll be fine. So we'll put the controller down on this end, since I can get power to it. So we put the we put the gear shift down here. I'll set some instruction here for it to go down, but I needed to do the opposite because it's already down at the other end. So I need to come towards it first and then go away from it and then stop. So I've put everything on here, the redstone link, change it over, right, to receive mode. I'm going with dirt for now, but I do wind up changing this later. Throw a cog on the end so we can get power into this bad boy. And then it's not the most beautiful thing, but I just line the back wall with cogs. It is what it is, but it works. Look at him go. You know, it is what it is. And yeah, everything is now good to go for the power. But I'm having issues with getting it to move. So when I flick this, I should go. It doesn't go anywhere. So I got to do some trial and error and figure some stuff out. So yeah, in doing so, I want to put in the lever on here so I can turn it on and off. And I had to take out a big chunk of the wall because I realized it was getting stuck on it. And as you can see, when I power it, it moves now, but only moves part of it. Some of it's not attached. And I'm missing a harvester. Somehow it went missing. It was there. I don't know what happened to it. I think later I do find it in the chest. I must have took it off or something. So I try and reglue all this thing together, right? Because obviously it was only taking part of it, not all of it. So I reglue this whole contraption back together. I'm trying to figure out why I'm missing a harvester at this point. Where did it go? So, I think I take that off, and I try to put it back on. Oh, I do put it back on. I'm just trying to get everything glued back together. For some reason, I broke off the contraption. I gotta put that carrier back on. So you see how it glues to it. So yeah, I went and found the other harvester, but I was thinking to myself, like, maybe I need radial chassis there to get those harvesters to work properly. So I found the other harvester in the chest. I made some radial chassis. I threw the glue on them, and I put the harvesters back on, thinking that was some of my problem, why it wasn't working properly. I also realized that when the watermelons are right there next to it, it wouldn't move. See, it won't move. And it's because there's a watermelon, like, literally right in front of the harvester, and it's, like, blocking it from moving, which I should have took that as a hint early on. But I didn't. So obviously, I can get it to move now, and it stops. And the things are still detached. I don't know why. See, it's still detached. I don't know. So I thought I would fill in these blocks, and then see, it doesn't work. it just picks up that block every time, and that's why I kept getting stuck, is they would pick up that block and it wouldn't move at all. So I thought maybe if I do it, and then, but no, once it comes back and it's not a contraption anymore, it picks it up because it's got glue on top of that thing. So I can't put blocks in that row. I gotta figure out how I want to do this, but I do fill the roof back in, top and bottom, so I just have like a one-line gap. So I realized the harvesters will not work, so I decided to go with drills instead. For some reason, the harvesters won't harvest melons or pumpkins, I think probably either. So I decided to go with drills. So I made 4 drills. We'll do 2 on either one. And I wanted to see if I use those as part of the contraption, if it would pick up the blocks as it goes. So we take off the harvester heads, and I change them out for drills. And hopefully that will fix our problem of it stopping. It would go and stop on the melons every time. So obviously I can't place anything properly, it won't work, so turn it around, there we go. Put the other drill head on. Now we got drills. And then we're gonna give it a little signal here. Oh yeah, I gotta put the redstone dust back. It took it out because it kept running, and so it stopped it from running. And boom, drills work on the melons. And we check. It's plowing through them, so I do a check. And it's collecting them. So I think this is it. We've got it figured out. So I throw some andesite casing on all these gears just to make them look a little better. I might change these out for chain drives at some point, but right now it's gears because we're cheap. So, and then I want to keep an eye on this thing and see if it's actually working. And it looked like it was, so I changed it out for dirt and melon. I'm going to put on this one. The other one I'm going to do dirt and pumpkin, just so they're a little more unique to the farm. So I know that's watermelon or melon farm, right? So yeah, we got this thing running. I've set the timer down there. I changed it to, I think right now it's 20 seconds or something, but I'll go back here and I'll change it to a longer period of time, so that way I can let the melons grow. Yeah, it's 20 seconds. So I changed it to 10-minute intervals. Yep. So it'll, every 10 minutes, it should trigger it. It'll go down and run through melon and then come back, and we're good. So farm complete, automated. We unlocked a few more achievements here, so we'll collect a bunch of rewards for that. We got an extra steam engine, which is cool. We can throw that on that if we wanted to. I think it's big enough. It can do that if we wanted more power out of that. Or I could save it for another one. So we'll see. Let's see what we want to do. We also got more precision mechanisms. As you'll see here, when we'll collect more achievements, we'll get a few more of those. So that's good. We can use those precision mechanisms to make more of the sequence. Not sequence gear shifts, but those speed controllers, which will really come in handy. So yeah, we don't have to make them. Those things take a little bit to make. Kind of a pain in the butt. So we got another one right there. Boom. So we got two more precision mechanisms, so we can use them to make mechanical arms if we wanted as well. So it would be cool to do that. But I might do that in like a different, like when we do our workshop or something. So yeah, we got a lot finished here. So that's mission accomplished for everything we want to do into the Nether. We completed our farms. We got them automated. I'll go back and do the pumpkin farm, and we'll get that ready to go for next episode. It's basically going to be exactly the same as I did the watermelon one, just on the other side. So yeah, I think that's going to be about it. I'm just going to put away everything here and finish packing up everything from our building and everything. So hope everybody enjoyed watching the video. Of course, if you want to see more, definitely subscribe. Please do. If you really liked it, please hit that like button. It really helps. And if you want to know when I put more out, obviously turn those notifications on when you subscribe.
and you can get notified when I put more videos out. So I'm definitely trying to get them out as much as I can. The schedule's been kind of crazy here this summer so far. It's been a little inconsistent. I've had a lot of things come up, so it's summer, you know, there's always a lot to do. So, but I'm trying to get stuff done. These Minecraft videos take a bit, but I like playing it, so I want to keep doing it. So, just might not be as often as I would like. So we'll see. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, and please leave a like, and hopefully, you know, the next episode we can do a little bit more with some automating things, and maybe I'll build a workshop. I'm starting to need to expand, so that might be the next thing. I think next episode I'm definitely doing a tree farm. Tree farm is next episode. Workshop maybe. But I definitely want a tree farm, because I'm tired of running out of logs. So that seems to be the one thing I keep running out of, that stuff to make things. Logs and wood in general. And I mean, I have tons of sticks for my stick trades, but so I definitely want to do that next time. So with that, I think we're gonna have to wrap her up here. Like I said, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I see you again next time. Stop on by. Thanks for watching. Bye.